everyone, and welcome back. I'm Heather Stamper, and today is a book talk day. I just finished listening to the latest Kevin Follett book, The Evening and the Morning, which is the prequel to the Kingsbridge series, Pillars of the Earth. And I have to say, I was a little hesitant to read this one or listen to it because when I finished the third book, Pillar of Fire, it kind of put me off a little bit because it was too many little winks and nods to history, like they thought they were cute or something. I like it when they make references to history, but some of it felt a little forced in Pillar of Fire. So I was a little reluctant to start Evening in the Morning. I was going to give it a little more space, but hey, my overdrive said it's now available. And I said, all right, let's do this. And I'm glad I did. This book takes place in 997 through 1002 of the Common Era. So it takes place right before the building of Kingsbridge Priory proper. So we have different characters here. And Ken Follett follows a particular pattern with the love interest. If you've read any of his other books, there's usually like a thwarted love character that ends up getting together with the love interest at the end because hooray. What I liked about this one is that it starts off with our protagonist, Edgar the Builder, losing the love of his life within the first couple chapters of the book. So that was kind of a smack in the face because Vikings invasions happen. And so he and his family get displaced. One of the church people said, hey, you know what? The church owns property in this place called Drang's Ferry. We can give it to you, and you can pay us back with your crops and tributes as you go. And Edgar's mom's like, this seemed a little too easy. It turns out to be one of the least productive farms in the area. Drang's Ferry, which ends up becoming Kingsbridge, is kind of a dump. But I mean, what do you expect at this time area? But even in the standards of the other towns and hamlets, Drang's Ferry was a dump. The church was in a rotten state because the little nepotism that happens here with the three brothers, Wilfred, Wigham, and Winston. Winston is the Bishop of Shiring. And so he's the one that's in charge of the town that Edgar came from and this little dinky-doink place called Drang's Ferry. His cousin is in charge of the minister at Drang's Ferry, and it's pretty much everything that could possibly be wrong in a church in the traditional sense is wrong. You've got the monks who are married and they have their wives and concubines living there. They're not enforcing the Christian values. They're cheating their parishioners. It's just a mess. The other cousin named Drang, hence the name Drang's Ferry, who owns the only ale house, has two wives and a slave girl that he basically prostitutes for extra cash. He owns the only ferry, which is a very ramshackle, rinky-dinky boat. Really doesn't, Edgar, being the smart guy that he is for someone who couldn't read or write, was able to manipulate the things on the farm so that they were able to have things like a fish pond. They were able to make the most out of the land that they had. He was able to prevent theft from local outlaws. So he was on the right track here. And even though he was originally meant to be a boat builder like his dad, well, dad's dead. And, sometimes you just have to make good with whatever you can get. So that's in Drang's Ferry. Now, hop across the pond to Normandy and you have Lady Ragna. Ragna, God bless her. She's a very smart, conscientious young lady. Got the education because her father is a duke. And basically, whenever he wasn't able to go and collect taxes or do the officiating of justice at the different little hamlets, he sent her because she knew what she was doing. And basically, if Solomon was a girl, that would be Ragna. I'm just saying. Her one weakness, though, is that she is an incurable romantic. She doesn't care for the suitor that her parents picked out for her. She falls in love with this guy named Wilfred. When the reader said it, it sounded a lot like werewolf, which made me kind of chuckle. So Wilfred, brings her over to get married. She finds out that he has another wife that he put aside. His family can't stand her, and he's related to all these crooked people in the area. Bishop Winston is his brother. Wigwam, who kind of runs things in the town, is just in Shiring, is an idiot and a perverted duck. Okay, I'm just saying. That's the best I can say without being demonetized. Not that I'm monetized yet. Like and subscribe. So you go through all of the things. It's like getting through the Viking ratings, love, romance, all the wrong things that happen when Ragna gets things taken away from her, when she has successes, how they get downplayed because she's a girl and not as respected as when she was in Normandy. Saying. And in the meantime, you have Edgar, who lost his girlfriend, got all of his livelihood taken from him, is making do, making progress, rebuilt the ferry, and basically apprenticed himself to Drang because that was going to be the best way to get his life in order. From all this, you get a series of events that leads up to the building and the creation of Kingsbridge, the town, and the priory, which leads you to Pillars of the Earth. So I don't want to give any spoilers to how everybody works out and whatnot. I will say karma, divine comeuppance, is a beautiful thing for these wicked people that are totally messing with their towns. They get theirs in the end. I will tell you that. And the good people get their just desserts, what's coming to them too, which makes for a nice, awesome story. So I really enjoyed it. It's long like the other books, 900 plus pages long, which is why I went with the audiobook, because I could listen to it in my car. I could listen to it when I was doing housework and whatnot. And it was a nice capping stone for the whole, Pillars of the Earth storyline. And so I can now say, I'm satisfied with this now. And gave it 5 bookmarks for, there are sections in there that just went so fast because the action just kept going. Little slow to start, but there are parts where like, do I have to get out of the car and go to school now? I don't want to. I want to hear what happens next. So it's good when, fill in blank. So I'll be interested in hearing what everybody else thought of it if you've read it. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. You don't have to read the Kingsbridge books in order, but it is nice if you can. This one just came out as the prequel book. So if you read Pillars of the Earth, or you read the third one, Column of Fire, and was not impressed by that, trust me, evening in the morning, spot on. So if you like these type of videos, please click like and subscribe, ding-a-ling the little bell, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.